Hi folks, it's Sven back again, and today I want to teach you some general things about improvisation in gypsy jazz, and therefore I will show you some of the things that you can do on the example of blues en mineur. Well, when we play over gypsy jazz, the first thing that you have to dig is that actually the music is not scale music, it's chord music. That means we're playing chord notes and we just move from one chord to another. And this is basically true for every kind of jazz music. But I will show you in a little demonstration what I mean. Let's say we have the intro, and let's say we choose the scale that you probably learned first, the blues pentatonic. Then it will sound like that. This is actually the blues pentatonic scale, and to be honest, it doesn't sound so bad at all, but you will, same as me, you will think like, okay, it's not really the real deal. The second thing that you could do is sticking to the scale that is the right one here, and this would be the G minor scale, because the blues en mineur is in G minor, and so the minor scale in G Aeolian, actually fits perfectly the whole form, and it's the same fingerings that we use for B flat major. So when you know the positions of B flat major, then you're perfectly tuned for that key. So I will demonstrate how that will sound. So that sounded a bit more like a scale, because we of course have the E flat and the A in here, which the pentatonic lacks, and these two notes of course are very important, because the E flat is the third of C minor and the A is the fifth of D dominant 7, and it's the 9 of G minor, which is also a nice sound. So well, these two notes are very important, and let's see now what is actually the real deal, and I will give another short demonstration, because when we do the real deal playing gypsy swing, then we pick out the right notes on every chord. And so, as I spoiled before, on the C minor, for example, the E flat is a very important note, and if you can use that, on point, then it will sound very good, actually. And the arpeggios of these tune are G minor 6, C minor 6, and on the D dominant 7 we like to play the D dominant 7 flat 9 arpeggio, and therefore you can also play the E flat diminished arpeggio. Because it's got the E flat, which is the flat 9 of D, the F sharp, which is the third of D, it's the A in there, which is the fifth of D, and then we got the C, which is the seventh of D. And these are all the good notes to reach the sound of D dominant 7 flat 9. So G minor 6, and here's a little trick, it's the same arpeggio than E minor 7 flat 5, E half diminished. That means that one, E, G, B flat, D, E. Find those in every book, but they are not named minor 6 arpeggio. They are, written out as the half diminished arpeggio, in that case from the note of E. But when we play the blues on mineur, that turns out to be a G minor 6 arpeggio. And you can learn all the positions of the E half diminished accord to reach the sound of G minor 6. For example, here it would be flat, D, E, G, and then. And that sounds very nice, and this is the right sound for the G minor 6. And of course, when you want to play C minor 6, all you gotta do is move it up from the 3rd fret to the 8th fret. And that of course works with all the arpeggios too. When we got the G minor 6 arpeggio here, we just have to move it up to the 8th fret. And then what we actually got is the A minor 7 flat 5 or an A half diminished arpeggio. And this is, you know, the first choice to make the listener hear the form. I will demonstrate that now. So, what I did now was basically using the arpeggios, and I already spoiled the next thing that you can do, and this is a chromatic approach of each chord. That means, let's say you have the G minor chord. What you can do easily is, when you only play the triad, you pick each note of the triad, so this is already the arpeggio, like you're playing G, B flat, the 5th D, and then again G, and then B flat, D, G. And the only note that's not in the chord is the B flat, but actually it's the notes of the chord. And then you play every chord with a chromatic approach, like instead of playing, you do. And with the right rhythm, that can sound very nice. So you could play, for example, like. Then C. This is what in a lot of gypsy swing solos happens, not all the time of course, but from time to time. So in these 4 concepts, using the blues pentatonic, using the scale of G minor, using the arpeggios of every chord, and using this chromatic approach is one of the 4 of the most important things to do. For example, there are 2 more things you can do, and this has again to do with scales. You can play the G minor harmonic scale, which instead of the G Aeolian scale has a big 7 as an interval. The F sharp is in there, and this is an important note because it's the 3rd of the D dominant 7 chord. And then it releases to G minor. Or while the tonic is played, the G minor 6, and you want to have more notes, you can also play the G minor melodic scale, the melodic minor scale, with G, A, B flat, D, E, and then G, A, B flat, D, a C, D, and then we got the E here, F sharp and G. And also I recommend learning these patterns in every position. And it's very important not only to learning the scale, you know, like fingering, but really to know, okay, I got the G here and the natural 6 will be here, the E. And also knowing how it sounds when you would play that, you know. So knowing the notes is very important. Like here's your G, and then you go to F sharp, and here's the E, and so on. You know, and one way of practicing it is singing along. You know, like G A B flat C D E F sharp G A B flat C D E F sharp G. And then you can even scat along with your solo. This is also very helpful to be more musical. So all these things mixed up together will resolve into the right deal. And I will once again show that by playing that, and I will, while I play, I will tell you what I'm doing.
1, 2, 1, 2.
We have a little intro here. So, and I will start with the arpeggio idea. Now chromatically, scale. And this is what you can basically do soloing on a tune like blues en mineur with only 3 chords, using the blues pentatonic scale, using the normal G Aeolian scale, using the G harmonic minor scale, using the G melodic minor scale. Therefore, when you go to C minor, of course you have to use the C melodic minor scale. Just move it up to the 8th fret. And the most important thing, using the arpeggios. A few more general things. When you want to get into soloing, I think it's very important to learn licks. Licks sometimes have a bad taste because people think they're not creative and stuff, but this is absolutely not true. Because when you want to learn a style, no matter which style it is, you got to know how it really sounds like to play it, you know, the way of phrasing and the way the notes, you know, just happen, you know, because all styles have a completely different approach. When you're playing a blues solo, you have a completely different approach than in a, for example, bluegrass solo, or like in a gypsy swing solo. So it's very important to get some licks, you know, and of course transcribe some solos or get some transcriptions. You know, I even think it's, of course, it's very good to transcribe it yourself to, you know, increase your solfege, your ear training. But it's also good to just get the transcription and learn it because it's all about getting something into your fingers, I think. So I hope that video helped you, and subscribe. See you soon. Bye.